Do you reckon surgeons are like dads at a barbecue, like discussing which major veins they took to get there?
Not how I do it.
But bolts are outside the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do they have to go from the soul?
But when you ever go back
That's a
inside
really
to
good
go back
point.
outside again, it's like stitching. Yeah.
God, Mark, have you ever had an MRI?
I have both MRI and the bolts.
Did you actually? Friends, last week I got an MRI of my shoulder because I broke my shoulder famously, and we wanted to see how it was going. And as I was in the MRI machine, I listened to the noises it was making, and I thought, you know what? My good friend Riley would go absolutely wild for this shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go off. We actually can't play this on YouTube because it's copyrighted music.
Yeah. Crystal Castles get really upset
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this
yeah.
slowed down version.
Tell me you wouldn't go absolutely crazy for this.
Okay, this one, yeah. The one you played me earlier, no. This is actually... Okay, look.
How are you recording this during an MRI?
Oh, I literally just YouTubed MRI sound.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you weren't the only person ever to take your phone into an MRI machine.
And not have it just sort of disassemble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just a rapid magnetic disassembly that just like shreds whatever part of your body is in the MRI.
Yeah, that would be cool.
London's hottest club is UCL Hospital.
I had an MRI recently at
For
the
what?
Royal, for like
too
neurology
big?
stuff. Yeah, that's right. Dick too big. We got to analyze it.
You got,
We
what,
got
the
to
brain?
see. Yeah, but they couldn't get it in the machine. That was the problem.
He thinks his dick is really big. We gotta look at his brain.
That's right. Yeah. And I got told off for moving too much. And I've got a lot. I'm not gonna lie
You were
to you.
jacking your huge...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you got to get it turgid for the thing to
Yeah,
work.
because you need to keep it hard, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if you've been in an MRI machine. It's quite difficult to move much, partly because they kind of like lock you into a sort of sarcophagus thing,
So
particularly
what
when you're
were
having
you
a head
moving?
scan.
Do you feel like you're in Cool Runnings?
I don't know. I guess I was just breathing. They were like, yeah, none of that. But it's very funny to be told off, like, you're not doing the medical treatment right. And then they were like, if you keep moving, we will have to stop.
The problem
So,
is,
like, if you keep moving, like, we don't care if you've got brain cancer.
Well, maybe they should stop playing tracks that make you want to dance.
That's right. That's my
the
opinion.
problem, of course, is that like it's just like therapy. You know, you're a type A, former gifted kid. You just want to
Yeah.
be the best at MRI, and so you just go in trying to impress the MRI technician.
By
That's
how
right.
still you are.
Yeah. And how magnetic.
Was it different to what you expected an MRI to be? I don't have any preconceptions if I were to have one.
Yeah, it was really, really loud, which I had been warned about that, but it is quite loud. And I didn't expect that I would be like put in a kind of like neck brace type thing. It's very like claustrophobic, but they give you
Yeah.
like a kind of like a periscope thing so that because you're looking up, but instead of like you just looking up at the tunnel in front of your face, you're like looking out over your feet, which does help quite a bit with the sort of otherwise quite panic-inducing scenario of being inside a very narrow tunnel that's like making like Skrillex noises.
In terms of weird
Kind of sounds like when I pegged Skrillex. Am I right? Come on.
A friend of mine, this is a very different medical procedure, but I was fascinated by it. A friend of mine recently had an issue where his balls felt very painful. And so I think he had like varicose veins inside his balls.
Did he have
Sounds like the time I pegged Skrillex.
And they felt
Did he have a testicular torsion?
No, it wasn't that.
I've been terrified of
Oh
getting
my
a
God,
I do
one
testicular
of my
have a
exes
friend
torsion.
had
who
that.
did. I do.
Yeah.
I have a friend who did have that.
Okay,
and
Glenn, there's
he-
no need to talk about me on the show.
Because you can't get it over 25. At the
Wait,
age of
Well, it's
what?
like you're
What
lower
happens?
risk over 25.
you
I
get low
think.
risk for testicular torsion.
Why?
I think your balls just attach at the bottom.
Well,
They
that's a reveal
solidify.
of how young the men I date are.
But he had it when he was like 19 and at uni, and he woke up one day really hungover after a party, and his balls had just turned. His balls were just black, like bruised black.
Well, he'd gone Habsburg in his sleep.
A single blood test. His head was full of water.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
He went to A&E and he tried to whisper it to the receptionist because they were sort of like, "What's the issue?" And he was like, "My balls have gone black." And she was like, "We can't hear you." And he was like, "My balls have gone black." And he was he'd gone into like the pediatric ward or something as well.
Oh, no.
And but they had a look at it and they were like, either it's absolutely fine or you need to go into surgery like immediately. But they sort of crossed the streams. But this friend who'd had these varicose veins They
So you
put
just twist them like dice.
Oh no,
like
it's
dice
such an upsetting
on your
idea.
rear view mirror.
But I don't know how they did it. And
But if you have to have them off, you may as well have them as a kind of wing mirror ornament. Taxidermy, my own nutsack.
But for these varicose veins, they put like a coil of metal in to like cut the vein off. But what he said was the way they went in was not through his balls; they went in through his shoulder.
What?
And they put it down. And he was insisting.
Sounds like when you pegged Skrillex.
He was insisting that's how they do it normally. But I was like, maybe your balls are so gross that the doctor was like, I'm going in through there. There's no way I'm touching that. But apparently that's how they do it.
Yeah, the shoulder bone's connected to the
Balls
sack.
bone.
That's
Yeah.
what they
But
say.
I just want to see the path. I'm
I
googling
have
this
no
later.
idea how I have no idea how that works.
Please write in.
Do you reckon surgeons are like dads at a barbecue, like discussing which major veins they took to get there?
Not how I do it.
But balls are outside the body.
Yeah.
So why do they have to go from the soul?
But when you ever go back
That's a really
inside
good
to go back
point.
outside again, it's like stitching. Yeah.
Oh God, Mark, have you ever had an MRI?
I have both MRI and the balls.
Did you actually?
Teabagging the MRI machine.
What happened is there was some tissue deposited on one of my balls, so I have to go through operation. And the doctor here, they don't give you antibiotic. They did the operation and sent me home. And I was working that time in Germany, so I went to Germany. And then it all swollen up because they haven't given me any antibiotic. So I went to the doctor in Germany, and they gave me the antibiotic. And the doctor just didn't even bother to put the gloves on.
Are you
Oh my
sure this
God.
was a clinic?
Yeah. It was the Berghain.
The Berghain
It
Clinic.
was
Yeah.
old doctor, and he just asked me to put my trouser down, and he just fiddling around with hands.
Oh my God.
Well, this is how we had to do it on the Eastern Front.
Nothing inspires confidence like an old German man with no gloves on.
Well,
Actually, an old German man putting a glove on also quite threatening.
Really, old German men in general, depending on when you're counting from, you're like, you were doing something. Chances are you were doing something back then.
I have had an unprofessional balls doctor as well, but not in a gloves capacity. This was a couple of years ago, and this was at the Royal Free Hospital. And the doctor was like examining my balls, and he was like, and I was very panicked. I do not like a stranger just
Anything ball related, you're not relaxed.
no, and I'm really panicking. Yeah. And he tried to reassure me by going, "Just breathe. Just imagine you're telling jokes on stage." And it was like not how you'd want to be recognized. I should have been flattered, but instead it was like, that's not.
You're just like, which club?
But
What are we talking?
I don't want this to be how you tell me that that you know me. Do you know what I mean? I felt
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
introduced
yeah.
at the very beginning, which is very, very nice anyway, but not mid balls.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So he didn't
That's how
say
you knew
at the beginning.
he knew who you were.
No, there was
Oh,
nothing.
boy.
There was nothing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe he just says that because I'm like, that wouldn't relax any other civilian.
No.
No.
If you're worried about balls, you go, just imagine you're doing what most people regard as the most terrifying thing, public speaking.
Look, just imagine you're project managing.
Yeah.
You've gone to some kind of like comedian bull doctor. Like, you know, have those doctors who do like the mafia.
Yeah.
And there's like the lawyer who does all the speeding tickets for like all the rich guys. And there's like the comedian's testicle doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was worried what the issue was, and he said, the cure is simple. The great comedian Glenn Moore is in town tonight.
I saw a tweet that was like, "She loves my balls. She's sacrilegious," and that made me very happy.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That was one of my favorite memes, the she blank on my blank till
Oh,
was
so
great.
good.
So I occasionally, as this still happens to me, I don't know if it's a medical problem, but if I wear a trouser, maybe we could diagnose it here.
Yeah.
I'll get a shooting pain in my left testicle if I sit down and I'm wearing like a jean that's cutting into like my hip,
A gene?
like a denim.
Yeah, well, one leg of a jean.
Wait,
Yeah.
so if
The
it's
right
cutting your
legless chap.
hip,
Yeah.
then the ball hurts.
Yeah, I have a whole sort of series of sort of worries around not really just that, but also I can't remember if I said
You're
this in
sort
a
of like a
previous
bop
episode.
it.
I can't. I also, I'm very worried.
None of the Bop It phrases I want to associate with balls right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, twist, tug it, spin it. Yeah, no, nothing. Does not spin it for sure. Not spin it.
Is suck it one of the
Contort it.
I just, which kind of bop it were you playing?
Yeah.
Kind of the horny bop it that they sell in Canada. Oh yeah, suck on that thing. Really get it in there.
How about
Really gag on it for me.
How about leave it alone?
Leave it alone. Now that's more like Canadian bop it. Well, don't touch it at all, actually. Just leave it a respectful handshake. That'll do.
Yeah, just put it down.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Where do you think you are? The washroom?
I still say
An
washroom.
MRI I did in 2009. So there was a medical study was going on in Imperial College, and they say if you want to take part, you have to bring 2 photos, one person who you like and one person who you hate. So they and then they were showing those photos inside the MRI, and then monitoring your brain. Which
Oh my
part
God,
of the,
which photos did you bring in?
Oh, there was some old friends.
Both friends?
And
Well, one of
colleagues.
them's not so much a friend.
Some old friends and colleagues. So and it was published in some journals.
Did your brain show
journal.
different, different?
Oh yeah,
regions
they
of
were
your brain light
studying the different area of brain get activated when you see the photos of your friends you love and person you don't like, and then they were showing photos inside on a screen
Which photos are you guys bringing in?
when you were lying.
I would confuse them by bringing in both Bin Laden and Hitler. And they're like, shit. And I'd go, which one do you think I prefer?
Turning up with 2 photos of just doctors who work on the study.
Yeah.
From like the
I love
website.
this identical twin, but I hate this identical twin.
Mary Kate, perfect. Great in fashion. Ashley, fuck her. I hate Ashley. She knows what she did.
This one set a trap for her parents. I hate that Lohan one.
Very disrespectful. It's you could really do that like if you kind of had a crush on one of the doctors, you could do it like a guess who likes you. You could like show which part of your brain's lighting up.
Yeah. Oh, wow, this guy's horny cortex is really engaged.
But you don't know anything before until you go for the session, and then you're only working with technicians. So all the scientists are behind the scene.
I don't want to flirt with one of the technicians. I want to get with the scientists.
I didn't come here to being a disappointment to your parents because you only married the MRI technician. What has this guy got? A B-Tech in magnets? No good. I want a professor of weird psychology.
A B-Tech and magnet.
That feels like that's something you could have got in like the Soviet Union.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Like I'm a master of magnets. That was always my favorite thing when you go to like a Russian town that was just named after like a natural resource or something like Magnitogorsk. Yeah, the Magnet Mountain. Yeah. It's like does what it says on the tin.
Great. I mean, to us that's like a fun name, but to them, very descriptive.
I don't know if I've told the story before about the time I went to Chelyabinsk, and everyone in Chelyabinsk always goes on about how Chelyabinsk is known as the city of the 5 lakes, and it's got these 5 lakes, and that's its distinguishing feature.
Lakes?
Lakes,
right?
lakes.
Sorry.
And the lakes are named.
City of the 5 legs.
It's like a Dark Souls.
Okay. Isle of Man only has 3. Sicily, Isle of Man get fucked. Average dog also get fucked. So we went there, and
Spiders, watch out.
Yeah, and these lakes were coming for you, and the lakes are called lakes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they're not even named the lakes.
And then as a senior prank, they had lakes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Oh my god!
Whoa, where did lake number 5 go?
Have you ever been to Chelyabinsk?
I have. Yeah.
How were the lakes?
I saw like what they polluted.
How would you rank them?
They've
So
already
coming in
done
at
it
number
for you. That's the
5.
best bit.
You have to do an MRI. We're going to take a picture of a lake you do like and a lake you don't like.
I always say once you've seen 1, you've then got to see 2, and then you've got to see number 3 as well.
Yeah. If you're a completist.
Yeah.
You really want to, the Chelyabinsk TripAdvisor is quite boring.
Yeah,
It's like lakes 1
any
through
percentage
4.
run, you can just do like 1.
Yeah,
lake,
exactly.
Number 1 is number 3, and then number 2 is number 5.
Yeah, you've got lakes 1 through 3, then you've got the Lenin statue, then you've got lake 4, then you've got the McDonald's, and then you've got lake 5.
What about sometime you need a person with 5 legs and 5 hands to do certain tasks?
Okay.
because the way the brain study is happening, like you can create a artificial brain, and that will control all your body function.
Okay.
And then you can have biological body part. You can grow as many as you like. So you will have
Right.
people who are biological, but their brain is mechanical.
Where do I
which can be
invest?
programmed.
Sort of Blade Runner.
That will going to happen in the future. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
What do you think that we will need more of?
Because Elon Musk has already implemented
There he is.
electrode
Yep.
in the brain, and it can read what you're thinking. And if you can read something, you can also write. So you would be able to change the brain. And then it'd be like any problem you have, you just read the brain and fix the part which creating problem, which would be basically memories.
So we can have an implant that just like makes you forget that you're a stand-up comedian. You could become like a functioning member of society.
Or we can have sponsored memories.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that would
Or
be
the
good.
other
So it'd
way
be
it
like
can,
50 First Dates. So Adam
Yeah.
Sandler keeps coming up to you and he's like, we used to gig together.
and it can go another way around. Like you can have biological brain, which is natural, and then all attachments are mechanical.
Yeah, that's cooler. I like
Yeah.
that more.
You
yeah.
could finally be a car.
Yeah, that's right. I could finally know what it's like. Yeah, just plug me into the BMW.
Mm.
I mean, these all idea already been explored in Futurama cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
But that is kind of real possibilities as well.
Yeah. Was that the study you were involved in? It was to do with Futurama.
No, I've watched Futurama.
Which of these two episodes of Futurama do you prefer?
Yeah, it's important.
Are you on Chelyabinsk TripAdvisor as we speak?
I wanted to see what was up.
I
What's-
like
what's
that
on there?
they even for the main, they couldn't get a clear photo.
Of like the main thing.
Yeah.
There's like a blurry photo of Chelyabinsk on the.
It looks like it's in the middle of like a sleet storm, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that might be the normal level of atmospheric pollution in Chelyabinsk.
Well, there's Jackson's American Bar.
Gastropub
Oh,
double
check out
L.
the menu.
Being in
What's it got?
Chelyabinsk is a double L.
Gastropub Double L, the Welsh gastropub.
This place, not worth a visit.
Best rarebit in Chelyabinsk.
This place used to be a good American-style bar to go to for American-sized dishes. Unfortunately, it's getting worse every year, and the owner seems to have lost interest in the business.
Oh, he's lost the love of the game.
Yeah.
Beer was sour. Wait. The beer was sour. Dishes are total hit and miss. And the size got smaller.
Yep. Choosing another place to eat. I used to visit this bar at least once a month, but as of January 2013, that will be my last visit. Maybe Jackson's has turned around.
Once a month for a place you don't recommend?
Well, used
Yeah.
to. Not anymore. Now it's even though it is number one of all of the pubs and bars in Chelyabinsk, it is
Oh,
itself.
she walks in a mine.
Yeah. Wait, so it's like it has declined, but not as much as the other pubs and bars in
I
Chelyabinsk.
have plugged my biological brain into this mechanical pub and bar in Chelyabinsk, and my consciousness is spread evenly throughout it via sensors and robot arms. In effect, you are inside my body and brain right now as you come to get a dill-flavored beer. And yet, I still have not been able to match Jackson's Bar and Grill or Steakman Steakhouse.
Steakman Steakhouse is a great name.
Yeah. Founded by Vadim Steakman.
Yeah.
Plausible Russian name. Like most Russians will have like one of four names, but then also like another 20% of people will just have a surname that you've never heard anyone have in your entire life, like Steakman. Yeah. I think that they have wisely observed that it's like the thing, you've not got to outrun the bear, you've just got to outrun the other guy. And they're not competing with all the bars and restaurants in the world. They're competing with all the other bars and restaurants in Chelyabinsk.
Yeah, they're competing against Patrick Bar
Mm-hmm.
and the Tractor Factory.
The Tractor Factory is the gay bar in Chelyabinsk. It's actually very highly rated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember what I did while I was in Chelyabinsk. I did a stand-up show in a restaurant where I was followed by an old woman singing like Soviet ballads, like Alla Pugacheva songs.
Yes.
And
Comedically, or like this was
Straight.
straight.
This was like a serious.
See?
This is often a thing, and like Russians do this all over the world, where they do not understand what comedy is, So they'll organize like a comedy night, but which is like mixed together with loads of other forms of entertainment in a way that is a complete death knell for any kind of successful.
You're wrong. I'll tell you what's happening. They're not the only people who don't know what comedy is. They're the only people who still remember what vaudeville is.
Yeah,
It's like the
true.
Royal Variety Show every night in Chelyabinsk in that restaurant.
That's right. Yeah,
Wait,
in the
can you
sense
zoom out
that
so I can look at this?
Diana is there.
That's
She's
number
still
one.
alive.
Number two.
Uh-huh. 1, 2.
Oh, the lakes are they're so
3.
close together.
Yeah, they're
Actually, if the sea levels rose a tiny bit, then that's going to be one lake very soon.
Lake Chelyabinsk. Mark, have you ever been to Russia?
No, I haven't been to Russia.
Have you been anywhere close to Russia?
Fuck Germany with that balls, doctor.
Germany, kind of the closest.
I lived in Germany for 2 years.
Where in Germany?
In Saarbrücken,
Oh,
French border.
Yeah.
Saarbrücken.
What were you doing there?
I was doing research, 2-year project.
What were you researching? Are you allowed to tell us?
Which part of your
we
brain
were
lights up when
doing,
you like someone?
It's part of continuation of my PhD. So we were actually designing sensors on glass chips. So instead of using traditional equipment, you miniaturize everything on glass chip, and then you monitor their reflection and move them around by using electric forces in small capillaries. So the idea was to develop sensors which you don't need person to run it. You just put them in the machine and machine will tell you the result.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
My degree is humiliating in comparison to this. It feels so low right now.
My BTEC in magnets is looking extremely
That is
shit
incredible.
right now.
Riley knows a lot about Vikings.
Yeah.
Do I?
No,
Oh,
Pierre does.
Pierre does,
He's
sorry.
not here. I'm
I
sorry.
I know about Vikings what Pierre has told me about Vikings,
That's right. Which is still quite a bit.
which is a little more than I know about glass chip sensors.
That's right. The kicker about
You don't need someone to operate one of those.
this woman singing the Soviet
learned.
ballads was she was accompanied on two sides by two much younger women who were stripping.
No.
So she's singing the equivalent of like Cilla Black songs. And there are just these like two women either side just like taking their clothes off and sort of like stripping down to like leopard print bikinis and doing like a kind of pole dance.
As part of the song, or like adjacent to.
Sort of like just next to her
do
singing
they
the song
feel
in the
about
middle.
each other?
She's like dressed normally. Like if you had like tunnel vision, you would be watching a normal like karaoke performance of an Alla Pugacheva song. But as soon as you add in the human capacity for peripheral vision, you're watching like the weirdest strip performance you've ever seen. And that was like, I finish my set, that's immediately what's happening.
You keep getting followed by strippers in Russia, I've found.
Were they stripping to your
Constantly.
performance as well?
No, that would have been great. I would have been there for that. Just them like deciding like what the rhythms of the performance were, like when they should take more clothes off.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Like running the set with them beforehand so they can kind of like choreograph something that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that would be good. They should put the audience in an MRI during that and see what.
I think the only thing that can improve your Dunkirk bit is two strippers on either side.
Yeah.
I've gigged in a strip club before in Plymouth. There was a regular gig that used to be,
A strip club in Plymouth. That's
Yeah,
already
it would-
a horrifying sentence.
I mean, I was traveling from London, so it was like a 6-hour drive in the end, once all traffic and stuff was considered. And then we were told by the venue, oh, you get to stay in a B&B overnight. And me and the guy who was driving there, who had never met before, we were like, great. And we got given one key, and we went into the room, and it was one double bed, like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And the shower was a cubicle directly opposite the bed, inside the bedroom. The shower was just inside the bedroom. The shower cubicle was just inside the bedroom.
Oh.
Like you'd put in The Sims. And so actually the gig at the strip club was fine in comparison to the evening we were about to have.
Was it at I've looked up the strip clubs in Plymouth. Was it Roly Poly Strippers?
Or was
It
it
absolutely
Annabelle's
was not Rolly Poly
Cabaret and
Strippers.
Discotheque?
I imagine it's probably Annabelle's Cabaret and Discotheque. This was a good few years ago. I sincerely hope at the very least the gig doesn't still run. Because the audience were disappointed throughout because we were doing
Well,
it.
there was a strip club called Jesters.
It might have been Jesters,
Could've been
yeah.
that one.
It was the stage was between two poles, so the audience, as we were all dying on our asses, would just be looking at the poles throughout, sort of being like, "I know what could make this evening better."
Wistfully.
Comedy story started on a strip club.
Yeah. This is true.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, Robin Williams used to strip there back in the day.
Just like you just see a picture up on the wall of like
Oh, look,
Mike
I'm taking
Gunn
off my
wearing
shorts.
two
Oh, wow.
nipple tassels.
Hey,
And you're
look, my
like,
penis is
wow.
like an elephant.
He's doing like the elephant noises
Yeah.
while like kind of windmilling. Yeah.
I want to know more about Annabelle's discotheque.
So
It's a franchise of Annabelle's in West London.
But Annabelle's based on the horror franchise as well.
Yeah. Okay, this looks
It's part
sick.
of the Conjuring universe.
They've got like flash animation, quality live music.
I think that this is just a normal club. I think Google Maps has lied
Whoa,
to
go
us.
back to the
What
screen
if the
that said
place
the
is called the
casting
casting
couch.
room? No. Go previous. Just the previous one.
Okay, yeah.
On the thing?
Yeah,
Go
going
up.
on the thing.
The
Casting
casting couch.
A wide range of spirits available, so it's haunted.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
good. Excellent.
Wait, they
I'd-
have something called the casting couch.
That looks to me like a drink deal. It doesn't.
But how does that? What
But it
is
makes no sense. That's not
Yeah.
even a pun.
Get me Annabelle.
Let's call them up.
What pun is they trying to do with calling a drink deal the casting couch?
Well, it's got burlesque dancers. That's why.
I'm not convinced.
Something fishy going on. I'm not sure about this.
Someone said this is great. It's like if Carlsberg did nightclubs.
Oh.
Wow, that's such a like 2008 reference.
The beer brand?
Yeah, there used to be these adverts where it'd be like, oh, Carlsberg don't do whatever it is,
Yeah.
but if they did, it'd be pretty good.
Oh.
So it'd be like a utopian vision of like whatever XYZ would look
Yeah.
like, and then it'd be like, Carlsberg don't do this, but if they did.
That's fun.
It's like, because Carlsberg beer is so good.
Right.
But obviously, if the boffins at Carlsberg turned their minds...
They don't do MRI research, but if they did,
Yeah,
it'd be fucking dope.
You probably get a fucking beer beforehand.
I always like to think that maybe they were just sort of saying, we don't do city planning, which unfortunately is what our degree was. Like, we are not qualified to make beer.
Yeah.
If only Carlsberg made cars. We're so sorry. They would be amazing, but we're locked into this fucking contract.
Yeah. All we can do is make beer. We've got no idea what we're doing. We're mostly
Yeah.
going off YouTube tutorials.
Do you like cars? But we don't. We hate what we're making.
No.
And which German beer was that where they say, we won't let you have it until it's ready?
Oh, Grolsch. I think it's Dutch. But yeah.
Yeah, you got to stop. It's not ready yet. I remember that. I remember the
yeah,
advert very
yeah.
clearly, yeah.
What is it? Are they
Yeah.
brewing it?
No, it's just advert. Say, we won't let you have it until it's ready.
But what ready because they're brewing it?
It wasn't really clear. It was like you can't have it until it's done.
Because
There was
if
an
you're
ad.
getting a beer ready and it's a Grolsch, which I believe is like one of the sort of metal classed
Yeah.
pop tops, it would be, it is now ready.
Yeah.
So it's playing hard
Don't
to
try
get.
and chew it out of the bottle.
Yeah,
Be sure to open the end.
If you try to drink it before it's ready by just smashing it on, you're not going to get much
The sort
beer.
of Francis Begbie approach.
It
to
should- it
drinking
should have been
beer.
the slogan for Guinness. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because you go, well, at least Guinness is done in
Yeah.
2 parts. So it makes sense for
Yeah.
someone to snatch the Guinness. But other than that, or like a cocktail, or even
Yeah.
or tea. Someone goes,
Yeah.
I haven't put the fucking water in yet.
Just
You
someone
fuck-
slightly
you idiot.
burning themselves on some tea and going, don't drink it until it's cooled down a bit.
Or someone
man.
trying to eat the protein powder dry.
Mhm.
Do you know, I had a horrible...
But
in
I'm the
terms of-
middleman. I've got no time.
Doing a fat rail of Huel.
I'm not. I'm not shaking my protein powder. That's cardio. That's how you lose games.
In terms of preparing tea the wrong way, I had a horrible flashback recently to when I was studying, I was training to be a journalist, and we were told in our first session, basically, go out with these video cameras, just shoot something really, really basic. Not a story, just shoot anything. Just shoot a guy crossing the road or something like that, and do it in several frames to sort of tell the story about, like you would in a news story.
Yeah.
And so me and my friend Amy didn't know what to do, and so we asked my housemate Richard at the time. I said, okay, we're going to do a thing where basically you walk into the kitchen and you're trying to make a cup of tea, but you put your hand on the mug shelf and the mug shelf's empty. So you boil the kettle, you put a tea bag in your mouth, and then we cut to you pouring the boiling water in your mouth, and then stirring the milk in, and then you drink the tea that way. And I just thought I might be quite a silly sort of thing. And we were told to show our things the next day in the sort of seminar, and the people before us had interviewed the woman's brother who was dying from cancer, and so they were showing his like his like not rehabilitation, but his sort of like physio and stuff like that sort of each day.
Struggles to make a cup of tea.
And then they sort of went, Glenn and Amy, what's your one? And it was like, can we just say we deleted it? Can we just say we can't now show this? We can't now show my housemate's story.
Man.
It was just awful. It was
What happened? You dramatically misread the tone of what they wanted.
Or they did.
Or someone basically came in with a kind of if you've got like cancer rehabilitation and you know you're doing the same thing as other people, you should find something else to bring. Otherwise, you're going to be stealing the limelight.
Yeah.
I'm just
It was rude of them, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey!
Days and
It's
Fridays.
cheese night at Berghain.
It's free entry if you're in school uniform.
They're playing the Fresh Prince song. There are like ticketed events. That it's like they're like Thursdays and Fridays are like ticketed events,
And they always end with like the Grease medley.
it's karaoke actually. You can just pick. It's a sing along. And then you go into the karaoke cubicles and you have to make sure they're clean before you go into them.
Are there actually karaoke cubicles there?
There are lots of cubicles.
But they're not karaoke.
No,
Okay.
they're for sex.
They're for sex.
No, for office work.
Yeah, they're from the movie Office Space.
Yeah, it's like the Brewdog at Waterloo. They've got like a podcast studio, a slide.
Yeah. It's like a hot desking space during the week. Like,
And a hot wifing space.
If a Brewdog
during
at
the
Waterloo
weekend.
had the rules of Berghain and you keep getting turned away and you don't know why, shall I wear bootcut jeans tomorrow?
Do we
Is
have
that
on
what?
tabs this week?
Sorry, only TM Lewin. If you're not wearing TM Lewin, you don't get in.
You probably get this all the time. Are you the Brewdog piss goblin?
Yeah. You're wearing brown loafers, but you're not wearing blue jeans with them, so you cannot come in. Yeah. That would be fun, like, constantly complaining about the Berghain co-working space that, like, the pissing room is always booked up. Like, we've got a bunch of people coming in to get pissed on, and there's no space. We ended up doing it in the store cupboard.
Yeah, but there's someone like really tense to be knocking on the door. Have you booked this piss chamber? I have booked this piss chamber. Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've got it all day, I'm afraid.
I'll be in and out though. You can,
Yeah.
if you need it for like 10 minutes, just like hang out there. I'll flag you in.